Salute to all the subscribers. Salute to all the new viewers. I want to thank you guys for your support and your contribution made to the platform. It really means a lot to me. I apologize. I'm late. I lost track of the time, but I'm here. Hopefully, you guys are awake. Hopefully, you guys will watch the playback. I don't have any links in the description box below right now, but at the end of this live stream right now, there'll be a link for the Patreon page and a link to the Facebook page in the description box below. So check that out. Like, subscribe, share this video. And, salute to everybody. That if you were waiting on me to start and I was taking too long, I apologize. Hopefully you're watching the rebroadcast. All right. So we're going to talk about the passport bros renounce the U.S. citizenship. And we're going to talk about this brother on the screen right here. We're not going to bash this person. We're not going to say anything negative. I just want to bring up a little story about this person. All right. On the screen right here is Quincy Spencer Davis III. Okay, he's 41 years old. He was born in L.A. and he was raised, I believe he was raised in Mobile, Alabama. He went to high school in Mobile, Alabama. At some point in time, his family relocated to Mobile, Alabama. Then he went to college in Louisiana. All right. He played college ball. I want to get the name. Tulane. I believe it's called Tulane in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's where he played ball at. Now, in 2006, that's when he graduated. He was undrafted. Like, he had dreams of going to the NBA, but he was undrafted. All right. So then he went over to Cyprus, Ngome, Cyprus. All right. That's over there, kind of like the Middle Eastern, Eastern Europe area. To, north of Saudi Arabia. Okay. He played for the Ether Ngome. All right. He played for them for 2006 to 2007. 2007 to 2008, he played for, I can't even pronounce this, the Belenenses Montepio. He played for them for 1 year. What country is this in? In Portugal. All right. So mind you, this brother right here is 6'8". All right. That's cool. If brothers aren't able to get drafted into the NBA, a lot of them, they take their talents overseas and they make a pretty good living. All right. So played in Cyprus, played in Portugal. Then he played with, for 1 year, the Deportivo Táchira. I don't even know where this is at. Looks like it's in a Latin country somewhere. It looks like it's in South America. I believe in Peru. Looks like it might be in Peru. All right. So graduates at 23 years old, trying to find his way since he didn't get drafted into the NBA, trying to find his way overseas. So 1 year in Cyprus, 1 year Portugal, 1 year in Peru. 2010, he lands in China playing the Jiangsu Dragons. All right, in 2010. All right. Jiangsu is a province north of Shanghai. And Nanjing is actually in Jiangsu province. All right. Then in 2011, he plays for the Bornova Belediyespor. Okay. It's in Turkey. So he's bouncing all around. For 5 years, he's traveling in different parts of the world. Then all of a sudden, he lands in Taiwan. 2011, he plays for Pure Youth in Taiwan. Pure Youth is in the Taoyuan, the city of Taoyuan. All right, that's like in the middle of Taiwan. I'm talking about this because I used to live in Taiwan, so I know the country of Taiwan pretty well. And while I was living, I'm going to show you a flyer real quick, but while I was living in Taiwan, I heard about this guy. All right. Now, the Taoyuan or the Pure Youth, right? They're part of the SBL league. So there's like 3 or 4 major leagues, major basketball leagues in Taiwan. There's the SBL, right? SBL stands for Super Basketball League. There's the P League, and I believe there's the T1 League. They got other ones as well, like the Chinese Basketball Alliance, the CBA, the Asian Basketball League, the TPB, the Taiwan Professional Basketball League. But I think the top 3 is the P League, the SBL, and I think T1 is another. Well, actually, CBL, P League, and SBL, I think they're the top 3. All right. So while in Taoyuan, right, he played with the Pure Youth for 7 years. And then he went on to play for the Taoyuan Pilots. So he stayed in Taoyuan for 10 years. Then he made his way to Taipei, or New Taipei City, and played with the New Taipei Kings. All right. The New Taipei Kings, they're part of the P League. Now, I looked up the salary in Taiwan. For a basketball player, that the average salary ranged from like the lowest was about $1,500 per month to about $20,000 per month. All right. Now, they threw this man a party in Taipei. Right. I want to show it to you. They threw this man a party. I don't know if you guys can see it. 10th anniversary. So they're celebrating his 10 years living and playing basketball in Taiwan in 2021. January 8th, 2021. I remember this flyer because I was living there. I was still living there. I actually moved to Sanchong, New Taipei City, and I'm going to show you a map of what Taipei and Taipei City looks like, New Taipei City looks like. All right. So they were just celebrating him playing ball in Taiwan for 10 years. Now, I don't want to dig into his pockets, pause, but I would assume that if the city is throwing you a 10-year anniversary party for playing ball in Taiwan, I would assume that your salary is probably on the higher end of the spectrum. All right. I would assume that you're seeing between 15,000 and 20 grand a month if they throwing you a party like this. They had a couple performances, about 6 different people. I don't even know these people. All right. They might have been, top shelf performances in Taiwan. I don't know. I don't really know the celebrities like that in Taiwan. Even though I lived there for quite some time, I just didn't know. All right. DJ Noodles, MC Gary, ICRT Caitlin, DJ Papa Bear, and DJ Neck Brace, and rapper Mo. All right. will bring you to experience and relive the hip hop scene. Thank you, fans in Taiwan, for supporting him over the past 10 years. I hope to continue to work hard to bring honor to Taiwan. You had people there talking about they had a good night that night. All right. So this is who, we're talking about right here. Hold on. I want to pull that picture back up. I want to pull this picture back up. I want to show you. All right, here we go. My bad. So this is who we're talking about here. Somebody who seemed like the country actually loved, right? They showed him a lot of love. He even opened up a restaurant. It's called Uncle Q's. All right, let me show you a picture of Uncle Q's. All right, I've been to his restaurant before. It's in the Don district of Taipei. Okay, so this is what the average like back alley in infrastructure and buildings. This is what the average alley in neighborhood looks like in Taiwan. Anywhere you go in Taiwan. All right. So the buildings look old, right? They don't really hit it with a pressure washer at all. They don't really invest too much in the aesthetics of the city, but it looks real artsy. So I don't want to say it looks like shit, right? But the buildings are old, but it looks like art. It's like a work of art, to tell you the truth, right? You're going to see some rats. You're going to see some mold growing on the side of the building, right? You're going to see some dirt. You're going to see some stained glass windows, right? But it looks artsy. It doesn't look raggedy, but it doesn't look new and upscale, right? The back alley streets, especially in Asia, are pretty clean for the most part. They're paved. They take good care of the streets. All right. These are some motorbikes. I had a motorbike when I was living in Taiwan. I actually got into an accident once. I actually got into 2 accidents, one major one. All right, but this is his restaurant right here, Uncle Q's, at the bottom of a building, right? And he's a vegan. So it's another angle, Uncle Q. From what I've gathered, it's still open, right? So everything on the menu is vegan. All right. I've been there once. It's not that bad. The food was actually pretty good. He has very high reviews on on this restaurant. As you can see, it's 4.5 out of 5 stars, 902 Google reviews, right? It has the average listed price between 400 NT to 600 NT. So you're talking about, between $12 and $25. 12 and 20, 12 and $25. All right. Not a bad restaurant at all. At the time I was a vegetarian, so I enjoy eating there. But I haven't. I switched up my diet, but at the time it was pretty good. The food is not that bad. If you ever go to Taiwan, check it out. All right. So let's put it back on Quincy right here. So, Quincy, he gets drafted in Taiwan, and around about 2013, right? He renounces his U.S. citizenship. So it says right here, the suggestion that Davis join the Chinese Taipei national team was first floated in January 2013, right? So the Chinese Taipei national team, right, is the men's basketball team representing the Republic of China on Taiwan in international competitions organized and run by the Chinese Taipei Basketball Association. The team was known as Formosa. Formosa means island in Portuguese. All right. The team was known as Formosa prior to the implementation of the Nagoya Resolution in 1981. All right. So I'm guessing This team, if you play on this team, right, you get to go to the Olympics. You can represent Taiwan in the Olympics. So that's why I think that, that salary scale, the lowest 1,500, the higher end, the max was like 20,000 US dollars per month, right? They made an adjustment when Dwight Howard came over to Taiwan. They paid him like 200,000 per month, right? So I believe if they wanted him to renounce his U.S. citizenship to play in the Olympics for, Taiwan, representing Taiwan, then I would assume that he was making close to 20,000 per month in Taiwan. And I get it, right? I totally get it. When I lived in Taiwan, I wasn't making nowhere near 20,000 per month, but I was doing pretty good for myself. And life was beautiful. Life was fly. You guys know how I was living. If you guys are a Patreon member, I shared pictures and videos of Taiwan on the Patreon page. So if you become a member right now, you get to see where I was living, the neighborhood I was living, right? I used to live by the beach. I used to live in Damshui, right? Damshui district. Hold on. Let me show you a map. Let me show you a map. So I've done this before, but Uncle Q's restaurant is right here. It's not too far from the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall. All right. There's a grocery store in this area I used to go to quite often. All right. So it's Don District. That's the center of Don District right here. This is a park I used to go to a lot. Don Park. I used to go there. I took many pictures of the park. Don District was known as a place where if you wanted to live in a higher end of Taipei, that's where people referred, that's what people told you to go to. It was like, hey, why don't you go check out apartments and condos over in Don District? I did it because, some of the places I checked out, I wasn't really too impressed. And the places I did like, they were fairly expensive, right? The most expensive district to live in is the Xinyi district, and that's by Taipei 101 right here. All right. But his restaurant is in Don District. So that means something. All right. And I used to live at first when I moved to New Taipei City. So right here in this bubble, right? This bubble right here is Taipei. This bubble from Shiji District, Nehu District, Zhongshan District, Ximending, Wanhua District. This is all Dan District. This is all Taipei. This center part right here. Everything around it. So this part up here. No, actually, I take that back. Nehu District and Zhongshan District is not a part of Taipei. It's New Taipei City, right? So this area right here, the airport, Songshan, Xinyi, Dan, Zhongshan, Ximen, Wanhua District, Dan District. This is all Taipei. Everything around it, like Nehu, Zhongshan, Shilin, Sanchong, Lezhou, Yonghe. I used to work in Yonghe, Zhonghe, Banxiao. This is all considered New Taipei City, right? So this centerpiece right here is Taipei, but everything around it is New Taipei City, right? I used to live up here. So when I first moved to New Taipei, I lived in Sanchong District. I used to live right here where this bridge is. I used to live right underneath the bridge. So when I would leave in the morning, I'd just take the exit and go straight to the city. The ramp was like literally right in front of my building. Hit the ramp, take the bridge to get into the city. Then I moved up here by Shalom Beach, all right, in Dam Shui. All this is Dam Shui. Actually, no, I take that back. I used to live right across the street from Marinu. As a matter of fact, I can show you. They don't have. Okay, I used to live in this building right here. So this was the mall. It had, barbecue restaurants, Burger King, and a movie theater in it. It was a fly movie theater, and I literally walk over here to the movie theater and walk back. I used to live in this building right here, so I get it. The lifestyle, it's overwhelming. The people are friendly. You know, the people are fairly nice, unless like you're teaching English. You might have some issues with management, some of the parents. But if you're not teaching English, you're playing basketball, right? I get it. People are fairly friendly. A lot of people in Taiwan speak English. Um, I've mentioned this before. Great place to fish, great place to camp, to do outdoor activities. Taiwan is one of the top countries in Asia to travel to if you love doing outdoor activities. You like hiking, going up a mountain, going up a gondola, go to Taiwan. They have some of the nicest temples I've ever been to, also. All right. And, you know, they don't make it difficult for you to get a license. Right. Getting a license is cheap, it's easy. And I didn't get my driver's license. I got my motorbike license in Taiwan. Did it all in one day. Right. Um, for somebody like him, the amount of money he was making, you get you a fly car, a fly, you know, to live comfortably in Taiwan. I would say, you can live a pretty decent lifestyle making $3,000 a month, but to live comfortably, $4,000 a month. You living good with $4,000 a month. Imagine making $20,000 a month, right? So that building I showed you, that was by the beach. And everybody who's a Patreon member, they've seen the inside of the condo I was living in inside of that building. And I was only paying like $400 or $500 a month for that, right? There were other condos in that area, and I showed videos. They had huge gates, like golden statues in the front end. It was insane. Japanese style homes, right? So if I'm paying $400-$500 a month for what I was living in, and imagine if he was making $20,000 a month. I could only imagine what his house looked like. I could only imagine what kind of car he was driving. All right. So the suggestion that Davis join the Chinese Taipei national team was first floated in January 2013 at the SBL 2012 MVP award ceremony. At the time, Davis stated that he was open to the idea of naturalizing as a Republic of China citizen so he could represent Taiwan in international competition. He said that of all the places in which he had played basketball, he felt happiest in Taiwan. I totally get it. I felt real happy when I was living in Taiwan, especially when I was living in Hsinchu. And I used to hang out in Jubei, right? I've told you guys about Hsinchu before. I've shown videos of Hsinchu. They would have the tall condominium buildings, and they would have like the vines draped from the top of the building all the way down to the bottom of the building. I'm talking about vines draping from, what is it, like 30 stories? Imagine a 30-story condominium building, and vines are just covering the whole building, and draped down a brand new building. It was fun. It was nice living in Taiwan. I get it, but is that the right decision to make? No. I advise you guys, if you travel somewhere, do not renounce your U.S. citizenship. Right? This isn't to smear Quincy once again. This is just to bring a story to light. His brother's a business owner, an entrepreneur, basketball player, right? I believe he coaches also. So on top of him making his salary playing ball, I think he was making money. Excuse me. I think he was making money coaching also. I've seen some other pictures of him coaching kids. And coaching, you make a pretty decent lifestyle coaching, because they tried to hire me as a coach in China, in mainland China, in Beijing. And they were paying pretty good money for that. All right. So, however, naturalization will require him to renounce his U.S. citizenship, as Taiwan allows multiple citizenship only for its own citizens who have immigrated and not for immigrants applying to become new citizens. Furthermore, as Davis did not meet the ordinary residence requirement for naturalization, in his case will thus be processed by special dispensation. Taiwan sports officials also had to lobby for the support of the Ministry of the Interior. Contract length and salary negotiations introduced further delays until in May 2013, it was announced that Davis had agreed to a US $20,000 a month 2-year contract and had officially applied for naturalization. So I was right. He was making $20,000 a month in Taiwan. Y'all don't understand what that means. Y'all really don't. Y'all have no clue what that means. And that's after taxes. That's after taxes. On June 25th, 2013, Davis went to the American Institute in Taiwan, the de facto U.S. embassy, to renounce his U.S. citizenship. The AIT processed his case, and he received his certificate loss of nationality 3 days later, temporarily making him a stateless person. He was officially naturalized as a citizen of the Republic of China on July 9th of 2013. He was 38 years old. No, I take that back. He was 30 years old. My apologies. He was born in 1983. So he was 30 years old. Okay. 30 years old. And, you know, you're living in China or you're living in Taiwan. You're making 20,000 US dollars a month, right? I'll take that back. I don't know if that was before or after taxes at 20,000. I know, like, I paid taxes when I was there, so I take that back. But $20,000 a month, right, on top of coaching in the off season. I believe he was coaching in the off season, and you get paid for that as well. Most people, like, who are working, like, the highest contract I've seen for teachers, just like a regular teacher, they were making around about, the highest contract I've seen was like 80,000 Taiwan dollars. 80,000 Taiwan dollars. What is that? 80,000 Taiwan dollars to US. That's like about $2,400 a month, right? Now that's considered like a high salary for a teacher in Taiwan. 80,000 Taiwan dollars. The lowest I've seen was about 45,000, so roughly half, so about $1,400 a month. And people were living pretty good. They had a motorbike, especially 80,000 Taiwan dollars a month. You got yourself a nice motorbike, a nice condo. You have disposable income. You got nice furniture in your apartment, your condo. You're not living in them buildings that I showed you next to his restaurant, even though the interior has been renovated, right, in some of those buildings. 20,000 a month, you can afford to live next to Taipei 101. All right. So hold on. Let me show you that flyer again. You see, this building right here is called Taipei 101, the skyscraper. It was actually the tallest building in the world in 2004. All right. This area, 20,000 a month, you can afford to live next to Taipei 101 if you want to. You can afford to live next to Taipei 101 if you want to with 20,000 US dollars a month. Y'all don't really understand how much money that is in Taiwan. So, hey, the hell with the NBA, right? I'll renounce my US citizenship. I'm playing in the Olympics. All right. I don't think they won any medals. No. They didn't actually. Actually, he did go to the Olympics. He won silver. He got 3 silvers, 2 bronze, 1 gold, 2 gold, 2 gold, 2 bronze, 3 silver medals. But I think that's just a P League. Was that the Olympics? I don't know. He has a couple of medals. The FIBA Asia Challenge. So it's not the Olympics. I take that back. My fault. The FIBA Asia Challenge, he got a silver medal in 2014. The William Jones Cup. All right, the William Jones Cup, our William Jones Cup, is an international basketball tournament organized by the Chinese Taipei Basketball Association. All right, so 2013 he won silver 2014, and 2 bronze, 2015, 2016 for the William Jones Cup. The EABA Championship, 2017, he won gold. The East Asian Basketball Championship. So that's that's China, South Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan. That's that league, and he won gold for Taiwan. 2013, the East Asian Games. He won gold in 2013. Okay, so he's doing the damn thing. You making all this money, right? You open up your own restaurant, right? Then soon after he renounces his citizenship and he becomes a Taiwanese national, he gets married in 2014. There is a picture of him and his wife online. I'm not going to show it on here. He gets married in 2014. Did he have any kids with her? I have no idea. I don't know if he had kids with her. I don't know. But time is going by, right? He's winning these medals, making money. In 2022, the P League announced it would reconsider its policies towards naturalized players. It was rumored that Davis would have his status in the league changed to foreign player from local, which he found shocking and later stated made him consider retirement. After a meeting was held by the board of directors, the league announced that he would continue to be treated as a local player for the 2023 season. All right. So when they asked him to renounce his citizenship, U.S. citizenship, to become a Taiwanese national, and compete in the the Olympics and other games, right? In the Jones Cup, the FIBA Asia Challenge, the EABA Championship, the East Asian Games, right? They asked him to renounce his U.S. citizenship so he could participate in stuff like that, so he can win medals for the country to make the country's basketball league look good, right? So he was a Taiwanese player. Then 2022, the P League tried to say, hey, nah, like you black. Clearly you black. I don't give a damn if you renounced anything. Nah, we going to change it to foreign player. We're going to introduce you as a foreigner, right? I've told you guys about how in these homogenous countries, how foreigners are treated, how they treat you. Oh, you're just a foreigner. Oh, that foreigner. He was about ready to retire. And the board of directors reconsidered. All right. In 2023-2024 season, he was suspended twice due to domestic violence charges. In March 2021, he was sentenced to 30 days in prison. He was suspended for the first 20 matches of the season by P League Plus and was fined 35,000 Taiwan dollars, which ain't really that much. 35,000, that's like $1,100. I'm already getting 20,000 US dollars per month. He was found guilty on April 9th, 2024 at first reading. After first reading, he was then suspended for the rest of the season, including playoffs from that day onwards. Okay. Davis was married to a Taiwanese national in 2014. The couple separated, then finalized their divorce in September 2022. Davis is a vegan, yada, yada, yada. So this is what happened. All right. You on this high, you 6'8", you black. Dude, I'm 6'3", black. I'll never forget. I was playing ball on the east side of Shinju by myself. I was just hooping. I was on the phone while I was hooping. I had a Bluetooth on. I was talking to a homie over the phone in my work clothes while I was just hooping on the court. There was like an older Taiwanese guy that was riding his motorbike. It's smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood. And he comes to a light and he was about to make a turn. He saw me hooping. This dude looked at me. His eyes lit up. And he parked his motorbike, got off the bike, got on the court and ran towards me. He's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, you so tall. Oh, you like Kobe Bryant. You like LeBron James. I'm like, yeah. He like, he was like, hey, excuse me. He's like, hey, you gonna be here this Saturday? I was like, yeah. I live right up the street. He's like, oh man, please come here this Saturday. Please be on my team this Saturday. Come play with us this Saturday. I was like, all right. Right. He said a bunch of other stuff, but I just try to like shoo him away. My homie on the phone was like, damn, who was that? And I was like, oh man, this is dude. Like I'm out here hooping. And my homie on the phone, he didn't even know I was hooping while I was talking to him. He thought I was just outside, right? Walking. I was like, no, I've been hooping the whole time. Like my Bluetooth, it had good noise cancellation in the background, right? So he didn't hear like the ball or anything, but he heard the dude like talking and like just mesmerized by this tall black guy playing ball. I'm 6'3". Quincy's 6'8", right? I don't know how tall their tallest players are, but when you black and you 6'8", right? They look at you like golden rotisserie chicken. All right. They like, please renounce your U.S. citizenship. Don't ever go back over there. Stay with us. Play for us. We'll pay you max contract. Please, please, please. Right? So that's what he did. You're on a high. Taoyuan. I've been to Taoyuan a couple of times. It's cool. Right? You know, you get there, max contract, renounce your U.S. citizenship, you meet a woman, you get married, and I think you got married in 2014. And who knows when there was turmoil in the marriage, right? They said that they separated when in 2019. No, excuse me. They separated, and then the divorce was finalized in September 2022. But the entire time, it's like, you know, you got somebody who, and me personally, I don't know Quincy. I don't know this person. I never even met him. But to be honest, I don't for whatever reason, I'm not saying like it's impossible for me to say this. That's not what I'm saying. Is I don't know him, never seen him, but I feel like he never put his hands on this woman. I could just feel he didn't put his hands on this woman. If you put your hands on somebody and you 6'8", I've seen a picture of his wife. His wife was, you know, short, skinny. You know, if you really physically beating up a woman, they wouldn't throw you in jail for 30 days, right? They'd put you in jail much longer than that. But here's the thing, a wife can bring you down. It's like, it started in 2021, right? In March 2021, he was sentenced to 30 days in prison. I don't even know if the dates are right because the divorce was finalized in 2022. Then in 2023, 2024, he was suspended twice due to domestic violence charges. So if the divorce was finalized in 2022, how do you get suspended twice in the 2023-2024 season for domestic violence, and you've been divorced from this woman and separated for God knows how long, right? 2022, so you probably separated, you might have separated in 2021. Why are you getting suspended for domestic violence charges in 2023, 2024? I don't understand. But this is Wikipedia for you, so the dates might be off. All I know is this man went to prison, Taiwanese prison, for like 30 days. I had a homie in Japan. He spent like 2 months in a Japanese prison because over his ex-wife making false allegations saying that like he had put his hands on her. They didn't do any investigation at all. They just threw him in jail, and then they did the investigation and come to find out that she was lying, and they let him go. So then they said she called the cops again and said, he beat me. He beat me this time. They threw him in jail for like 2 weeks and released him and told his ex-wife, if you lie on him again, we did a second investigation. You lied on him. You lie on him again, we're going to throw you in prison for lying. So this man spent like damn near 3 months in a Japanese prison while they were investigating, doing a background check and investigating, going through his phone and everything to see if did this man really put hands on her. He never did. Like he, at that moment in time when she called the cops on him to get him locked up, he was like, man, I haven't seen her in like a year and a half. I haven't seen her a year and a half. What happened was he moved out of the house. He said once he got married to his wife, this ain't Quincy, this my homie I'm talking about in Japan. when he got married, his wife after a while stopped working, used up all the savings, and was stressing him out, telling him you need to make more money, more money, more money, more money. Right? I'm the wife. I should be at home. They didn't even have any kids. Right? You're supposed to take care of me and pay all the bills. It's like it's not even what we talked about before we got married. Just all of a sudden, she stopped working and spent up all the savings and was trying to uh get him to make more money to take care of the both of us so she could spend more. And since he's like, hey, I'm a U.S. citizen, I can only do but so much, right? She she started getting violent towards him and yelling at him and cursing him out, screaming on him every single day. So then he met a chick, he met a woman, they became cool. He moved out of his spot with his wife and moved in to his girl's home, right? And she didn't know where he went. So for a year and a half, he hadn't seen her, but she kept calling him, leaving threatening messages on his phone. She found out while they were going through so he got a divorce, right? Then after the divorce, he found out that he had gotten remarried and his new wife was pregnant. That's when she put them false allegations on him. And they still threw him in jail for 3 months in Japan. So that could have been a case like this. But see, the thing is, they could find out, they could prove that this person's lying, right? That, you haven't even seen this person. But because it's a woman who's a Taiwanese national, right? Or a Japanese national, they have to make an example out of you. So it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. Once somebody in a homogenous country says something about you, even though it's proven to be wrong and a lie, they will still go with the local citizen over you. And they will still punish you. They'll still throw you in jail. They can prove, yeah, but she said it, so we still gotta throw him in jail. Then they'll suspend you. Then you lose your job. Then you lose money. Then, right about the time when he's getting accused of domestic violence, they don't even want to consider him a Chinese national anymore. They're like, nah, you a foreigner. He's like, what? Well, I'm a retired in. If you're going to introduce me as a foreigner. Now, I don't even know what that entails, because it seems like it's more than just announcing you as the foreigner at games, right? It has to be it has to be much deeper than that. So here's the thing, man. Like, and I don't know if he can get his U.S. citizenship back. I don't know the details behind that. I'd imagine with a Taiwanese passport, man, I don't think you could just get up and leave and go back home. Right? You're like, damn, Taiwan is doing this to me, man. F that. I'll go over to Japan. I'll ball in Japan. I'll represent them. I'll hoop for them. But it's easier to do that with U.S. citizenship. Oh, Taiwan, this is what they want to do. They want to side with this woman saying that I put hands on her or whatever when I never did, and they want to throw me in prison and then try to strip me of the board of director wants to strip me of my Taiwanese nationality after I renounced it for this country. I've done this, that, and the third for this country. They want to side with some woman who's mad at me, making up lies on me. I'm just going to assume she was lying, right? Yeah, you know what? I'll go to Hong Kong. I'll go to China. I'll go to Korea. I'll go to Japan. I don't even think you could do that once you've renounced your U.S. citizenship. I don't even think you could just up and go back home to America after you renounce your U.S. citizenship. It's a process to get that back. And who knows how much that costs. So now it's like you in a country, and how has that affected his money? All right, you got suspended. Maybe parents, they don't want to send their kids over to you to coach them anymore, right? Hey, that's that guy who, quote unquote, allegedly beat up his wife. And then she had to file for divorce on him. I don't know who filed. They just said they separated and it was finalized. Who filed? That means something. It could have been a situation, the same thing, like my homie. It's just like, hey, look, this woman is being very disrespectful. I make 20 grand a month. I get up, get out, and go someplace else. Here, fine. House is paid off. You can keep it. I'll move someplace else. And we'll just get a divorce. Probably upset, right? That a woman ain't getting her way. Then on top of that, you even more upset that it's like I'm going through all this with a black man, right? And this woman is more upset because you're not Taiwanese. You understand? So when you date and marry some of these women in other countries, they want you to do things the Taiwanese way. They want you to do things the Japanese way. They want you to do things the Chinese way. They want you to do things the Thai way. And it's like, no, I'm not that. And their way, it makes you look real simpish, right? Nah, I ain't on that type of time. I ain't on that program. So in their minds, it's like they feel like I'm giving up a lot to be with this person. When vice versa, you are too. I'm giving up my social status being with this person. You know, people low key are racist towards me or high key racist towards me because I married you. I'm walking around with a black man, right? Then you're not doing things the Taiwanese way. Then it's just normal for us to yell and scream and be the boss and to be the dictator of the household when women get older in marriage. And Taiwanese men, they deal with it, they'll take it. Why aren't you taking it? Right? Then you making way more than what the average man is making over in Taiwan. So you say, hey, you know what? F it. I'm out of here. That's probably what could have happened because that's what happened to my homie. And after a year and a half, when they were separated, she just up and lied on this man and said, hey, I want to press charges on him. Why? Because she saw he got remarried and his new wife was pregnant. That's probably what could have happened. But hey, I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he did put hands on her. I don't know. I don't believe it. But look at how women and a woman, the person you loved, the person you thought had your back, right? Inseparable. The person you said vows to, till death do us part, they could switch up on you. And in a marriage, you're stuck. You're in a marriage in a foreign country and you've renounced your US citizenship and you are a national of that country. Man, that like you are stuck. So now you're a Taiwanese citizen. Maybe he does speak the language, right? But you got a criminal record. You have a record. You have an arrest, jail time on your record. And they do background checks in Taiwan, right? But he got his restaurant, so I don't think he's hurting. He's doing well. lots of reviews. But once it's like, once somebody paints a negative picture of you and you're a black man in an Asian country, it's a wrap. It's all downhill from there. And now you're stuck. When if you had your US citizenship, it's like you could just get up, bounce, and be like, hey, F this country. Falsely accusing me of something I didn't do. I'm gonna go someplace else. Right? I'm saying all this to say this. Do not renounce your US citizenship. Right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Hold on to that US citizenship. Right? Because when a country wants to make false accusations on you, when they're playing games with you, when they're playing games with your money, you can always go back home, right? You can always go back. You can book a flight, leave, and go to the neighboring country and offer them your skills. With a Taiwanese passport, I don't know how it is, but I know you just can't up and move and just go back home like you used to, like you could from before, right? It's a process. It costs money, right? And then some of these places, when they see you're trying to go back, and I don't really know the full process, but let's say you can go back and get your U.S. citizenship, they might act funny towards you. They might start playing games with you. They might tell you, "Hey, you can't get your U.S. citizenship back. You're a criminal. You have a record. You've been to jail, right?" And so now you have no woman. You don't have your backbone with you. You may or may not have kids. And they might tell you, like, hey, nah, you can't get it back because you have a record. I don't know. The basketball league, they might start, they already acting funny. They suspended you twice. How they suspend you in 2023, 2024, right? And you've been divorced since 2022. You get suspended for the rest of the season. I'm like, something's off about that. But now they might not want to pick you back up next year to play ball. So what you got to do? So what you do? Like, hey, I got to fall back on the restaurant. Let's say the public is like, hey, you know what? We're not effing with him because he did this, that, and the third to this lady allegedly. So now your restaurant, the money you're making off the restaurant goes downhill. Let's say you got to get a job, right? The owners of the job are like, nah, man, you that dude that beat up old girl allegedly. Or they run a background check like, hey, we ran a background check. You went to prison. Yeah, well, nah, we don't want you. So I don't want anybody else to get stuck in a situation like this. And, if Quincy ever comes across this live stream, comes across this video, my apologies if I got information wrong. I'm sure I did. I'm reading a lot of ish on the internet, right? But the point about it is, it's not to, present the details to the public and bash you and shame you. No, this ain't a video to shame Quincy. This is just an example to say, hey, man, look what happened to this man's life after he renounced his citizenship. It didn't happen right away. It didn't happen right away. It took some time, right? But I know what it feels like to, man, when I was living in Taiwan, I didn't want to leave. I didn't renounce my citizenship though. So, guys, man, like they could be offering you a gig that, you know, they could be offering you money that you never see, that you might not ever see in America. But don't be tempted to renounce your citizenship and get stuck in a country that you weren't born in, because it's not about um your nationality really isn't based off of where you were born. It's based off of blood. And they can see, hey, you not of our blood. So no, we can't offer you this and offer you that and do this for you. Even if you do renounce your citizenship, we still can't offer it to you. You're not Chinese. Yeah, that card might say it, but your face card don't say it. And people treat you as such. Oh, there's a lot of racism over in Asia, especially in Taiwan. All right. Things might be going good. People might be friendly because you're doing something for them. Right? You're doing something to put a spotlight on the country. Even if one of their own, you know, isn't the main star. Like, basketball and baseball are the top two sports in Taiwan, especially basketball. Basketball is huge in Taiwan. All right, but man, don't get caught up. Right? I saw another YouTube channel. This dude, he went to Harvard, moved to Japan, and renounced his U.S. citizenship. What? Ended up marrying a Japanese woman. That went to hell. And so he had a couple kids with her. Now he's with I think he's with a Jamaican now. And they got kids. So all in all, it's like you're a black couple living in Japan with Japanese citizenship. You can't just get up and go back home. Anyways, I'm over them out. You guys take care. Peace. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.